Hello everyone. So I made it home with my load of water, and I'm going to show you guys how I pump it into the house. If you take a look over there, you see this black pipe that goes all the way into the bottom of my house. It's like a downstairs type, but it's not really finished. It's kind of like I don't know what to call it. It's just a utility room downstairs, and nothing fancy about it whatsoever. But as you can see, part of my pipe right here has a female end, and this pipe here that I made a pipe that is like an L shaped with two male ends. One of them sticks to this right here, which is going into my holding tank, and the other one, as you can see, goes into my truck. So you can see it's hooked up to this tank, the tank that I showed you guys in my last video when I was filling it up. So now all I have to do, since I connected this, I make sure my connections are good. Now all I do is open this up, and you probably hear some water going already. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk down to the underside of the house. That's my little trailer there. I got a little tent there that holds my tools for the winter. These tents are pretty nice, actually. You know, they can hold a load of snow, not too much. I have to come out here and clean it once in a while, but they're not bad. I think I paid under $200 for that tent. And this is what my backyard looks like, actually. So you can see all these trees back here. And these trees are pretty, but I'm getting a lot of them down, especially the ones that are near my house. You have to be selective with what trees to leave up and take down, because you want to make sure you take down the trees that could pose a problem for your home if they fall or something. You don't want a tree to fall on your house, so you have to be selective on which ones you take down. As you can see, I got trees that are really close to my house, but those trees I leave there because they're strong and they're good trees, and if one of the other trees behind them falls down, it'll fall on there. So as you can see, this is my holding tank right here. This is underneath my house, and actually, if you can hear water, there's water going in there right now, but I haven't even started the pump yet. So if you can see here, this is underneath my house. This is my LP tank. This is what feeds my gas range. I like cooking with gas instead of electric, so that's what I got. And this is all the plumbing for my wastewater. And then over there you can see a water tank. That's for my house water. This pump here is connected to the holding tank, and that's what provides water to my whole house. And then that other little pump right there, if you can see it, it's kind of dark. That pump is connected to that pipe out there that I just hooked up to. So what I do is I have a little remote control right here, and all I do is turn it on. And if you could hear that, now that's helping that water get in there a lot quicker. So I do that, and it takes probably about 5 to 10 minutes for it to fill up, but it's a lot easier than what I used to have to do. I used to have to come into this room. I'm going to lock the door here now because I have a heater in there, and I don't want the heater to be working for nothing. So I used to have to come into this room. I used to have a sled right here. I used to have a sled right around here, and I used to have a dredge pump. And it's a pretty heavy pump and a really good pump. But I used to put the pump on my sled. I used to put two 25-foot hoses on my sled. I used to pull the sled up through here, the same place that I just walked through. And then I used to have to hook up my hose to the pump and to the side of the house. And then I used to have to hook up my other hose to the truck. And then I used to have to pump the water in. And when it's negative 40 out, that's a heck of a chore. Right now it's beautiful. It's only about 30 degrees out. But that's a heck of a chore. Now that I hooked up that electric pump, all I have to do is just go in there. I don't even have to go in there if I don't want to, because I have that remote start on that pump. But I like to go in there just to make sure that the tank is going to take all the water that I'm putting in it, you know. And I like to make sure after everything's done that when I press stop on that pump, that it actually stops. And for some reason, it doesn't keep going. That way I don't burn out the motor. But it's really a lot easier than what it used to be. Here's my dogs. This is where they live. This is their pen. And they see me and they're like, oh, am I coming out? Am I coming out? No, they're not coming out. You're not coming out, dog. You're not coming out, Bella. They're pretty excited. This is a little dog house that we took. Actually, this dog house, my buddy made me this dog house, and he did a great job. It's an insulated dog house, so it's got the walls are sandwiched in insulation. So there's 2 pieces of plywood with a piece of insulation in the middle, all the way around the floor, the sides, and the roof. And then, as you can see, we put hay in there, and then we put chips in there to keep them clean. The hay helps to keep the dogs warm, and the chips helps to keep them clean. So we do that throughout the winter, and we just make sure that in the wintertime we feed them extra fat. So we get them really high quality food. I mean, really high quality food. It's pretty expensive. And we also, every time we feed them, we put some kind of a fat in there. So like the other day, we just cooked some fried chicken. So the grease that's left over from the fried chicken, every time we feed them, we'll put like 1/4 cup of grease over their food and stuff like that. And they love it. You know, they eat it up. And even though they look kind of thin, that's just their breed. What they are a 1/4 husky and 3/4 pointer. So that's what they are. So they look kind of skinny, but we even took them to the doctor and asked them whether they look, you know, kind of thin. And they're like, that's just the breed they are, you know. That's how they're always going to look no matter how much they eat. Now, you can tell that one of them, dog, that's dog right there. Dog, come here, girl. That's dog, the one with the red collar. That's dog right there. Sit. Watch this. Sit. 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 Give me a paw. Good girl. That's a good girl. Sit. 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 Give me a paw. Give me a paw. Good girl. Dog is a little bit bigger than Bella. But that's because dog is the alpha. So dog, when we feed them at the same time, dog usually gets more. So we have to start feeding them separately so they can get the same amount of food. But they're really good dogs. We can't really let them out all the time, because if I'm not here dedicated to just watching them, they'll take off. They've taken off like 3 or 4 times since we've been living here. So in this right here is a burn barrel. So what I do for them is in the winter when it's really cold out, like if it's going to be like -20 or below, I'll come up here and I'll fill this barrel up with wood and I'll light it on fire. And the fire will radiate and actually keep them warmer. So this actually just fell on me, so I got to lift this up. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. So I'm not going to bore you to death by keeping you here and letting you watch water get pumped into a tank. But this is my septic field right here, like I told you all. And you can see all those bags there. Those are all bags full of insulation on top of it. And then once the snow covers it, once you get about 1 or 2 feet of snow on top of that, it insulates the heck out of it. I mean, it does a great job. So like I said, we'll keep our fingers crossed and hopefully it'll work just as good this year as it did last year. All right, well, this is Alaska Prepper. Hey, if you have any suggestions on any other things you want to talk about, let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you really like the video, you know, share. And if you don't like it, let me know why. And we'll change things around if you like. Because I really like doing these. And I'll love to keep posting them and like to interact with people. So you all take care. You guys have a great day. Have a great week. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.